Season filled with top draw Aston Villa performances. That must be right at the top. How good a performance and how big a win is that, Ollie?
Yeah, I think it's massive to come away to Arsenal when they're playing such good football, controlling games, and to play like that just shows where we've come and where we're going, really. It was probably a perfect away performance.
Emmy, I saw you go over to the away fans at the end, like Klopp-esque punching of the air. Looked like you particularly enjoyed that win.
I enjoy every win, to be fair. But yeah, they've been supporting us home and away. And we knew that we need a big away win for our Champions League hopes. So this is the first step. We've got 5 finals left, but we need to enjoy this one and go on Thursday and try to qualify to semi-finals.
What was it for you? 11 years a Gunner, but goodness me, you've hurt them today.
Yeah, I think it's 10, 11 years here, so I still love the club. I still got friends here. You know, when you spend 10 years in your life, I came here as a young lad and I left as a man. So I always love this club. I always will.
And Ollie, I think you've got a bit of a soft spot for them yourself, haven't you?
Well, I used to. When I grew up, I was supporting Arsenal, but it's a different story now. I'm playing against them. Yeah, not too much to say, really.
I mean, the key thing is not your connections with Arsenal. What a result for Aston Villa.
Yeah, I think any win is a big result, but considering the other results, I spoke to you before the game, we're focusing on ourselves, but we're fighting for Champions League, and we knew it was going to be tough today coming away to Arsenal with the football that they're playing, but we've shown what a good side we are, and I think a lot of people doubted us. They thought that we play good football, but we wouldn't come here and get a result. So I feel like we've proved a few people wrong.
What did you make of that minute in the first half? Absolutely crazy. You're both involved in it. Your shot hits the inside of the post and somehow spins back past the other post.
Yeah, I've seen them go in. I was running off already celebrating, and then I saw that it would bounce out. There's not much more I can really do in that situation apart from score. But yeah, I'm confident that when it goes up the other end, that Emmy's going to always make a save. I know how difficult it is to score against him in training. So yeah, I'm confident when the other attacker goes through that they're probably not going to score.
And I guess, Emmy, it's purely instinctive, but that one of those big legs of yours got you out of trouble.
Yeah, honestly, I try to work on that. I'm quite flexible, and when I have time to react, obviously the foot save is always good for a goalie. Not like I always do it. It just depends on the situation. But I try to keep the team in the game. Even sometimes when we lose, I always try to be focused on making saves, because I think Oli should win the Player of the Season. Many people saying when you play for a big six,
nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Where's that come from? When you play for a big six, always they got more credit, to be fair, but Oli scoring, what was that, 20 goals? For
19, isn't it?
Yeah, 19.
One behind Erling Haaland.
19, 20 goals with the chances that he's got. I think he should be a really, really good contender to win Player of the Season.
Well, I mean, you've got a comment on that.
No, obviously it's nice that he's saying that. I'm just trying to let my football do the talking. I felt like I played well today. I grew into the game. Second half, I was coming to get the ball. And even if I come off the pitch, I was happy without a goal. I was happy with my performance. So, yeah, the little dinks is nice. Yeah.
Last one to you, Emmy, because you said earlier on in the interview you'll always love Arsenal. Do you hope they can recover? Do you hope they can bounce back?
I think they're still second, aren't they? So they play Champions League in 4 days' time against Bayern Munich. I think they come far. They got one of the best managers in the world as well. I work with Mikel. I know how good he is. And I think they're gonna put a really good performance next week.
Well done to you. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.
Yes, an enormous day for their Champions League challenge. Remember, 41 years since they've been in the top competition in Europe. Having said that, at 84 minutes, it was 0-0. I mean, It was real late drama there.
Yeah, it was, but you did find in the second half, especially they came back in. But this was an unbelievable effort from Tielemans. It was just fantastic effort. In fact, this is the goal. This is the goal. Look at Martinelli. This is what I was thinking. This is where Arsenal have been so good defensively. Everybody's been switched on, but in this instant, Martinelli, if you look at him now, right, this is his man. That's his man in this situation. He's got to get tighter to him. It's just as simple as that. You give up two opportunities and they take them for these reasons. people switch off. He knows now. He realised now, look, that's his man. And that's the difference. The margins. Same thing happened with Bayern. A couple of lapses in concentration and you get punished. And that's what happened today.
That was a brilliant run from the near post from Pau Torres. He's up there because there was a corner just beforehand, but he's made a cracking near post run. If he doesn't make that run, that goal doesn't occur. And it was a lovely finish. And then this was the second one. Of course, Arsenal are pushing at this point. There's only a few minutes to go in the game, but Ollie Watkins, you just saw him at the top of the picture there. He's actually just in his own half as this ball comes through. And I just love this finish. You know, when a defender is sort of diving in, stretching, and you know the goalkeeper's going to dive at your feet as well, you can take them both out in one foul clip. And that was a lovely little dip.
I think again here, I think Jorginho, he's got to keep that going. He's got to put that over to the right-hand side, keep the play moving. He's trying to go back into the bodies, but like, look at Ollie Watkins here. He's in total control of the situation. Ball on the right side of him. He's running at a nice pace and everything. He's in total control of that situation. Yeah, he gets a little deflection, but I think that's beating the goalkeeper anyway. Brilliant goal, Ollie.
Yeah, absolute class. Love the finish, the right choice at the right time. Kept the defender away with a little bit of strength, a little bit of a change of pace as well, and a beautiful finish. Yeah. So it was the icing on the cake for Aston Villa. Great performance.
And those numbers, Ollie Watkins, 19 now in the Premier League.
Yes,
19 in the Premier League. Yeah, I mean, I've said on this programme many times that this is a guy that can really improve, can really keep scoring more and more goals. I've seen a huge improvement in this game in recent years, and there's no reason whatsoever why he can't go and win a Golden Boot or have a regular run in the England team. I think he's got that potential.
How many do you get between you? Golden Boots?
Was it 4?
4.
You get 2?
Well, it's a good job you were saying nice things about him because he's waiting to speak to us while you confirm. Live at the Emirates, Ollie Watkins. Future Golden Boot winner, according to Michael Owen, but we'll come to that in a moment. How good does that feel? How big a win was that today, Ollie?
Yeah, I think massive. We definitely frustrated Arsenal. You know, when we played them at home before, they were controlling games. They're a different side this year, but today we could see that they were getting tired and frustrated around about the 35-minute mark. You know, once we slowed that game down, and we knew we'd get opportunities on the counter attack. It was just about getting that right. Obviously, I've had one on that's hit the post. I can't really do much more there. I was already peeling away, celebrating, but. And then they went up the other end, and Emi made a crucial save. So, I think we created some big moments in the game, and I feel like it's a much deserved win for us.
What does it say for your team to go to somewhere like that, where only one team had won all season, and play with such bravery today, Ollie?
I feel like when you play against these big teams, sometimes you can get sucked into going long balls and. Be nervous because they can just swarm you and press you. They've got such good players and they control the game so well. But the boss was very demanding that we play our style, and if we lose the ball by trying to do that, then so be it. But he didn't want us to play loads of long balls and not be ourselves. So we stuck to the game plan, and it worked here today.
Ollie, well played today. Michael Owen here. I was just wondering two things. One, obviously, from the team's point of view. Champions League football looks a very, very real possibility after today's win, did beforehand. And from your point of view as well, I just mentioned the Golden Boot. Us strikers, I've got Ian Wright sat with me now as well. Us strikers also look for that, that honour as well. Have you got one eye on that?
Yeah, firstly, we saw the results of Tottenham and Man United yesterday. And when they play before you, there's always that on your mind that, you don't want to let an opportunity slip. So we're definitely thinking about Champions League football. That's the aim. We've come so far since the manager's come in, and that's the aim for us to get there. And then personally, anyone you see that list there, if you ask them a question, if they want to win the Golden Boot, the answer would be yes. So I think we're all fighting for it. And I've got my eyes on it. I want to score every game. I'm sure you guys as strikers, if you're coming off the pitch and you're missing opportunities, you would be frustrated. So every striker wants to score goals, and I feel like I'm improving. When I spoke to you in America in pre-season, Michael, I said that I needed to be a bit more clinical in front of goal, and this year I've done that. But I feel like I'm only getting better with age. I'm improving game understanding. I feel comfortable. around the pitch, and that mentality of, if I'm drifting out the game for 10 minutes, that I know I'm going to get a chance, but if I have missed a chance, then I'm going to score the next one.
So Ollie, it's Ian right here. I just wanted to say, Ollie, in respects of your finishing, because you do look a lot more clinical in what you're doing. Your whole round play looks very, very tight in everything you're doing. Is it something that in training, because even today you didn't get many chances, but the one you got hit the post, and then the one you took in the end so beautifully, is that something you're working on? Because you mentioned Emi Martinez and how hard it is to score against him, and I found the same thing with David Seaman. Is it something you're working on in training?
Yeah, I feel like as a striker, you always want to try and, work on different sort of finishes in training. I speak to the keeper, I speak to Emi and say, what should I do in this scenario? Maybe 18 months ago, I don't score that goal. I'm maybe trying to just, blast it, or there I'm probably trying to just, I don't think I would dink that.
Wow.
A little deflection, but I feel like it was going to go in anyway. But I've put my arm across him there and got that opportunity. So yeah, I feel like I've definitely got better in front of goal. I've put myself in them situations a lot of time and looked back on what I should do, looked at good strikers, how they score goals, and just tried to emulate it really. You said you didn't think he was going to. When did you think, right, I'm dinking this? Could you get the keeper out the corner of your eye? What made you think dink it? He's got to go down, keeper's got to go down. What made you think dink it? As I've changed the angle of the ball, I'll tell you when. So originally I thought Smith Rowe's getting back there, but he kind of made my mind up for me because he's coming out so much. If I dink it, I felt like he didn't really have much of a chance. I love that.
Ollie, just one more question on finishing, because we've seen other strikers as well in the league that you think, maybe somebody like Mo Salah or something like that, you think when he first came to the league, it wasn't a great finish, but then he develops. Do you think finishing is instinctive, or do you think repetition can really improve a striker's finishing?
I feel like repetition, but also the amount of chances you get. I saw the other day Salah had 12 shots against Brighton in that game, and I'm thinking I think I have 12 shots in maybe about 6 games. So obviously, the more you shoot, the more you're going to score at the end of the day. I think I've had 1 or 2 chances, and I've come out with a goal. And sometimes it goes your way. You can have 3 chances, score 3 goals, or sometimes you can have a lot of chances and not score. So I definitely feel like it's about the size of the chance, like a big chance, and the quantity.
Ollie, that's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I, for one, have enjoyed the 3-way finishing class. So thank you very much indeed. I'm very well played today. One behind Erling Haaland. Fantastic. Keep going.
Thank you. Michael, keep bigging me up. Thank you very much.
Are you on commission?
You ought to be, shouldn't you? You only say what you see, can't you? And he is definitely improving with age, as he said himself. And it is interesting because I did chat with him in the summer.
So you're claiming some credit here, are you?
Not any credit. He didn't ask me many questions about it, but. No, he's doing it naturally. He's got a great all-round game. His touch is improving. He's a real strong runner. He's direct, and if he can just add that quality in front of goal that Wrighty was talking about as well. And a lot of it's the choice of finish. I mean, his choice of both finishes today were absolutely spot on. He had to go for the far post when he hit the inside of the post. He had to really go for the dink there. It was the obvious finish. So choice of finishing is an important thing, and then of course the execution of it. You know what, Steve? I think one of the most important and interesting things he said there was his goalkeeper and how good he is in training. I remember it was so difficult to score against Dave Seaman. And I can imagine the same with Ollie there, with Emi Martinez. You see the saves that Emi Martinez makes. You can imagine how many chances he has in training and how he has to hone his finishing even in training. So when you come on a Saturday, if a goalkeeper's not quite right, like he said, I saw him and I saw he knew to dink it because he's got to play against a goalkeeper. It's probably saving everything, so he has to be very precise. And that really improves you as a finisher as well.
Fascinating. OK, well, let's hear from the man who sold Emi Martinez from Arsenal and is on the losing side today, the Gunners' manager, Mikel Arteta.
Obviously, a lot of focus on the result, which is a hammer blow, but it all comes back to performance in the end. What did you make of the performance?
Well, 2 very different ones. The first half, superb, and one of the best halves that we have played against a top team. Should have been 3 or 4. Or more, I don't know. You don't put that scoreline and you don't reflect on that in the second half. We lack momentum. Didn't happen a lot of things, but we didn't have the flow that we had in the first half, and then we conceded 2 very, very poor goals.
So how did they take that momentum away from you?
Well, credit to them, because in the first half we had a lot. We were a bit unprecise with the ball. We didn't have enough sequences in the right areas to do what we did in the first half. We're struggling to regain the ball as well in the areas that we did in the first half, and that's it. And then we lost it, and you have to congratulate the opponent.
So if you look back at key reasons, do you actually look back at not being clinical first half, not being 3 or 4 ahead like you said you deserved?
For sure. And when you are at this level, you have to punish them. It's not like you're going to do that for 95 minutes against a top opponent. And we haven't done that. At least don't concede again the goals that we have.
Do you think it began to play on minds, the fact that you hadn't got the goals your performance warranted?
Well, I don't know. That's more a question for the players that are there, but that's always in football the case, you know. And then you have to be sometimes a bit more patient than we were in the second half to find our moments, and we're trying to do that as well with the changes. That's when we concede the goal.
I was going to ask you about the changes, particularly taking off Martin Odegaard, who was a big influence on the game first half. You're thinking?
Yeah, because he had a little issue. That's why.
Okay. How important now? You've talked about being emotionally stable. You said that in midweek when you were behind in the game. How important now is emotional stability? There's going to be a lot of noise, City at the top now. How do you cut through that?
But we cannot control that. What we can control is when you have the run that we had and you win, 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 and you draw, and you win. Easy to be a leader, easy to stand up, easy to stand here, easy to be around with the flow. Is now. The moment is now. After this blow, how we react, we have the best opportunity to react on Wednesday night against Bayern Munich, and now the team has to show it, and now we have to make sure that we react in the way that that if you want to win, you have to expect to overcome the situations.
So is that for you as well? Big voices, leaders, like you say, when you're winning and winning and winning, that's one thing.
It was going to happen at some stage. With the games that we have, it was going to happen. Now how we react to that, that's going to be the key.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time you blinked since New Year's Eve, really. Is there a danger it becomes bigger in the players' heads than it actually is? You start thinking about last year and what's happened in the past.
But what you can control is how you're going to feel now, the way you talk now, the way you react, and the way you look ahead of what is happening on Wednesday. And this is in our control.
It never feels good to be behind Man City. They've got obviously a great record of finishing things off. Is that another thing to shut out?
Yeah, but we cannot control that.
Still possible.
With the amount of games that you have won in a row in any other league in the world, you are 6 or 8 points clear. It's not the case now, and this is the challenge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Macau.
Yeah, he's absolutely right with that. He can't control it anymore. He thought they were superb in the first half. Should have been 3 or 4.
I think if you're going to really go into it, then he's probably thinking the Jesus header and that didn't go across the goal. Probably the Havertz when he went through, maybe. Or even obviously the Trossard miss, but I think that they were more, apart from Trossard's, their half chance. I think he must be talking this. That's got to come across the goal. You know, these are big chances in games of this stature. That's massive chance there, and I think that's one that he might be talking about. I think probably the same with this one here, and you have to take these chances in these moments simply because, you know, this is what takes the impetus away from Villa. This is what takes the drive away from Villa to make them think at half-time, we can get something here, because you're giving them a chance. So once this comes across, he's got to open his foot, side foot, and he's got to put that here. He's got plenty of time to do it. You can see that there with the connection. And I think he's talking about that. That's the three he can be talking about. And yeah, in a more clinical situation, if the guys are more clinical, yeah, they probably could score 2 or 3 there.
And the standards we're at, the three-way chase we're at, the team they're up against who've done it season in, season out, these are the fine margins and big moments at the moment in the business end of the season.
They are, yeah. I mean, it's such a high standard this year. I think you mentioned before the game that there's never been 3 teams on more than 70 points at this stage of the season. It's such a high standard. One little mistake and you could be playing catch-up. That's what's happened to 2 of the teams today. Time will tell whether they're going to get punished for this weekend. Is it going to be the most pivotal weekend of the Premier League season? It could be, because Manchester City tend to finish seasons very, very well. However, there's a lot of pressure going around. There's a lot of difficult teams to play for Manchester City as well. So it's still going to have some twists and turns, I'm sure of that. But this weekend belonged to Man City.
It certainly did. Let's get some Arsenal player reaction. Here is Declan Rice.
League defeat of 2024. Where did Arsenal fall short today?
Not killing the game off in the first half. I think that's the biggest one. I think the space that we had, the chances that we created, and the chances that we missed. I think in games like this you have to be scoring one or two of them, and in the end it come back to haunt us.
Lost home and away to Villa this season without scoring. What makes this Villa side so hard to play against?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because in both games we could have scored 3 or 4 goals. So it's more on our side, to be honest with you. Yeah, they're a great team, and they hold the line really well and they're compact. But the chances that we have in these games, we've got to be taking them, and so it falls on us, really.
Looking at the table now, just how damaging could this defeat be?
Yeah, it obviously doesn't read good, being 2 points behind Man City, but I think, as you see with the other results today, there's going to be so many more twists and turns towards the end. We've just got to stay positive. We've got 6 football matches that we need to give absolutely everything for, and still, good things can happen. We just need to focus on ourselves, really.
How did it affect you psychologically playing last this weekend? Was there additional pressure? Did you know that Liverpool had lost?
No, because I turned my phone off, so I didn't know the result. I'll just see it then when I come back in. So it's even more bit of a kick in the teeth seeing that result. But look, we've played last, before. We played last against Man City the other day, so it doesn't really have much difference. It's just annoying that, we couldn't get something from the game, because even if you can't win, definitely don't lose and you take a point. And in the end, we've taken nothing, which is obviously gutting. It
was a half-empty Emirates by the end. It's been such an incredible atmosphere here throughout the season. I'm sure you can understand their frustration, but how much you're going to need your fans now in this final run-in? Yeah, we're going to need them massively. I think the change and the energy with them has been unbelievable. They've been like our 12th player this year. The home atmosphere they've created has been outstanding, and six big ones to go, so we're going to need them every step of the way. How important now to pick yourselves up and go again, because you've got a massive Champions League game coming up, don't you? Yeah, it's the perfect game for a reaction. We need a reaction on Wednesday night, and it's a great chance to show our character and leadership. So it's time to go out there and hopefully get into the semi-final of the Champions League. Good luck, and thank you. Thanks for your time. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's a huge game in the Champions League. Wolves away next Saturday night in the Premier League. You mentioned last season and the wheels coming off. They couldn't respond after one defeat. Are they better equipped to do so 12 months on here after this one?
Well, we can't talk about players who are not in there and not playing well, because we have been playing well up to this point. I just think that there was a moment in the game, like Declan said, where the chances, like the manager said, obviously talking about it half time, that they missed chances that they should have taken. And the problem they're having is not taking those chances, and then Villa growing in the game, and then their quality players starting to do their stuff they started to do their pressing and passing and getting themselves in a situation where they got those 2 chances and ruthlessly took them. Now, this is what Arsenal are going to have to do. People will say everything about, they've come to the same stage of the season, they can't finish it off. They had the opportunities to in the first half and missed those chances. So as there might be half chances. Obviously, Trossard's is more than a half chance. But you have to take those, because it puts a whole different complexion on the game and how Villa are going to come for you then. Because we've got to talk about a Villa side that are missing a lot of their key players in respect of what they did in midfield with Douglas Luiz and Kamara. Just them two alone, what Villa are missing. And they still came here, didn't start so well. But second half, got themselves in the game, started playing, started pressing, putting us under pressure, and then they deservedly won the game.
So how do Arsenal respond and make sure this doesn't become a repeat like it was 12 months ago?
Well, I mean, just when Declan Rice was talking there, I thought there's still a lot to play for. Yes, for Arsenal fans, it's doom and gloom. It's a big defeat. However, Liverpool lost as well. They're still in the Champions League. If they win, against Bayern Munich, they're in the semi-finals of the Champions League.
Possibly against Man City.
Yeah, exactly. Loads to play for still. Still plenty of games in the Premier League. They're not out of it. So dust themselves down, clear their heads. As Righty said, they've been absolutely brilliant this year. Yes, they were good last year, but this year they're on a different level. What they don't want to do now is lose, and all of a sudden that then becomes a problem, not just for now, for next year as well at this point in the season. So I think get back on the wagon, get back on winning games again. I think they will, because I think they've just got so much quality, and see where it takes them. But it's not all over yet.
I think that when you look at City, and this is why people say City know how to navigate this end of the season, because City would not have thought that Liverpool and Arsenal would have lost today. No. So now you're looking at City, who know, like we do know, how to navigate this end of the City. Now City can afford to lose a game, and I can't see City losing any games. So now you're saying, now we're hoping you've got to continue to win all your games now, because you put more pressure on yourselves in Liverpool and Arsenal. And City can now, they can have the breathing space of, even if they don't win one game, they're still able to do it. So you're looking for City to lose 2 games and you win all of yours. It's a big ask, but all you've got to do now is continue to win, because that's what you had to do before Villa beat us today. We had to win all our games because we know that's what City are capable of.
OK, well, back to winning ways against his former club will have been sweet for the Villa boss, Unai Emery.
1,001 games for you now as a manager, and so many times over 20 years we've seen you come up with a game plan which has had a huge impact on a match. I know you've touched on it a bit there, but just tell us a bit about the game plan today. And do you think this sort of challenge brings the best out in you as a coach?
We are analysing deeply each match, and we played 10 days ago against Manchester City and we lost 4-1. But we were trying to understand a lot of things we did good, but we needed one step ahead, doing something better. And today was the example. We used this match to try to improve and to try to learn about this match.
Can you tell us what that something is? That something from City that you did today?
Firstly is defence. Defence strong, defence strongly. The small details in defence as well. Small spaces, try to be narrow, to be inside, try to avoid at the beginning line passes, and then be compact with the players. And more or less it was the first idea we had in our game plan today. And then was try to get our time as well with the ball, keeping ball possession, trying to avoid their press, trying to do passes and being patient. And we did. First half we did better the second half, and progressively we impose our positioning as well the second half better than the first half.
What does the result mean to you personally coming back here to Arsenal?
It's not a revanche. It's for Aston Villa, and it's because we had 60 points, and with those points we have 63, and we are closer to being the top 5. This is the only objective I had before the match, and of course Arsenal to beat here then is very difficult because they are doing amazing season, and I think they are very difficult to lose here, to create chances here against them is being very difficult. And of course I am very proud of our work, of how the player they were focusing and being demanding themselves to get it, and I'm very proud for it.
Lastly, does this feel like a big step towards Champions League football? Your result, but also the other results that have gone your way this weekend.
Yes, but today the 3 points we played is the same point we played last week against Brentford, and we were winning 2-0 and then we draw. The same point. And the same point we are going to play next Saturday and in Bournemouth. And if we are not then being consistent like we are today, we can lose. And of course, this is the demand, and this is the level we want to face and to fight against teams like today. But even against Brentford, even against Bournemouth. And this is the way, and this is as well sharing with the match we are going to play on Thursday as well, very difficult in Lille.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He's doing plenty right. That is Villa's 4th win against the top 5 this season. Takes them on to 63 points, 2 more points than all of last season's total as well, when of course he got them into European football. I mean, just a word on the progress and the job he's doing at Aston Villa.
Well, really, it's only when he was at Arsenal that he had a little blip on his copybook, because apart from that, his career has been absolutely...
And he still got into a European final in 5th.
He did, yeah. And when you look at Arsenal managers in and around that time, it's never easy to follow an Arsene Wenger. We've seen it at Manchester United, follow a Sir Alex Ferguson. We might be seeing it at Liverpool, try to follow Jurgen Klopp. It's not easy when a manager's been really successful for a long period of time and then to try to find a successor. So he possibly came in at a difficult time. But apart from that, his career has been an outstanding one. He's a winning manager, wins trophies wherever he goes. And again, he's punching above his weight at Aston Villa this season.
Yeah, and they're still in the European quarter-final, chance of a semi-final, and it's in their hands now for Champions League.
Yes, and deservedly so, the way they've gone. And, you know, he's somebody he's not hidden behind or made excuses for the amount of injuries that Villa have had this season. They've just kept going. And what we're seeing is a manager that is very meticulous in what he's doing. He spoke about the Man City and the defensive side of it. We heard him there saying that he's had to tighten up today. They tightened up. Didn't play as well as in the first half with the way they wanted to control the ball, but second half they did. And then their forwards got on with doing it and made the great substitutions, and they went on to do it. But him as a manager, like you rightly said, Mike, coming in after Arsene Wenger was always going to be tough. But I think that him going away and coming back, you know, showing his quality, and we're seeing it with Villa. And they get, you know, you wouldn't put it past him to win that tournament because he knows how to win that tournament. And the same with getting into the top four. You would not put that past them now. But like he said, you know, if they don't concentrate, you know what I mean, they can easily lose in their next game and that. So they've got to keep going now.
Terrific day for us, for Aston Villa. Arsenal beaten, so too Liverpool. When we come back, we'll reflect